Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Space. So, this is the first episode, and honey, I have been sitting on this segment for a couple of months now, and I am so excited that I'm able to now film it and be in this amazing space with you all. So, welcome. Welcome. If you're new, please subscribe, and we're going to be having an amazing time today. So, what is spirituality? Well, that's what I'm going to teach you today. Also, I'm working on Sacred Space Junior Academy, Sacred Space Academy, and it's for the little ones. This is very rare because I don't see a lot of spirituality TV shows or YouTube channels based on kids. So it's still in work in progress, but go over there and subscribe if you want your little ones to know about spirituality. And don't worry, we're going to break it down for them so that way they can understand. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for this new journey. And if you want your little ones to know and be ready for spirituality, then that is the place for you all. All right. What is spirituality?
Sacred Space.
Spirituality is not about religion. It's knowing who you truly are. It's knowing that you are more than just this human body. Spirituality is about connecting with you, connecting with your higher self, connecting with the universe, connecting with nature, and so much more. It's about what's on the inside. It's about knowing that you're more than just this human body. You're more than just you. So you see a lot of people, a lot of spiritual people, they meditate, they journal, they heal themselves, right? They eat healthy, not all of them, but a lot of them, they do fasting, they ground themselves, they connect to nature. Spirituality is freedom as well, because unlike religion with all of these rules and fear-mongering, you are free. You are you. And spirituality is also about healing your inner child, healing the things that you held back for so long that you have pushed deep down. It's about doing shadow work. It's so many things to spirituality. So I want to tell you guys my story, how I became from Christian to spiritual. All right, so it started when I was younger. When I was younger, I was a seer automatically out the womb, okay? I was a seer, and I thought that was normal. Nobody told me, hey, this is awkward. Like, what do you mean you can see spirits? So I was a seer. I could see ghosts. I could see angels. And even outside, I could also see fairies. Not all the time, but when I was outside as a child, I could see fairies, I could see angels, I could see ghosts, I can see ancestors. So yes, as a child, I was a seer. And that's just kind of how it was. Even my imaginary friends were angels. One was a boy and one was a girl. Kind of like their Fairly Odd Parents. If you watch that show, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. I'm not even joking. I'm not kidding. I had angels as my imaginary friends. So I want to say this though. I was very protected growing up because at the time I didn't know I was a chosen one. I didn't know what that even was. But I just can tell you guys that the protection was so strong that it felt like somebody was in the room. Like often I would turn around because it just felt like somebody was here with me. But nobody wasn't here with me. But slowly, I want to say when I was about 2 or 3, slowly for surely, my mother slowly started to introduce me to Christianity. So I started off as spiritual. Okay, I started off as spiritual, and then my mother introduced me to Christianity. So I got baptized. I had a home church. I learned about Jesus, God, honey. I learned about it all. When I started to read, I learned how to read the Bible. So I was all in. I was all in. But I will say, being a Christian was not a mistake to me, even though I'm spiritual now, because it was a part of my soul journey. To understand Christians more, because I used to be one. So I don't regret being a Christian, because it was a part of my soul journey to understand and to know how a Christian feel, because I was one. And I was a Christian for a long time, up until probably I was a Christian for a long time until my middle 20s. That's when I slowly started to realize something isn't right. I grew up being a Christian. I was a saved and sanctified Christian, honey. I was a saved and sanctified Christian. When I tell y'all, even like going out and like with my friends, they would dance, and I was like, I don't want to dance, because I don't know, like maybe God will punish me. Like I was like one of the old type Christians. Like I was a good, let me not do that, let me be perfect Christian, so I can understand how it is and how it feels. But when I got older, I knew that there was something more, but I could not explain it. But it's like it was more of a feeling, like there's something more for me. But every time I would want to question it or ask my mom, I got hit with, I think some of y'all know, don't ever question God. Right? You get hit with that. So I got hit with, obey your parents, okay? Understand what we teaching you is right, and don't ever question God. Those are the things I got hit with. So with that being said, when I got a little bit older in high school, my father actually was the one who actually started awakening me, and I didn't know it at the time. He taught me about my history before slavery. He taught me about all of that, but I was very closed-minded at the time. So that means that when he was telling me that God isn't real and it's man-made, I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't want to accept it. I was like, God is real. I'm going to still believe in God. I heard him, but it was like I was scared. It was the fear. I was like, I'm going to still believe in God. But everything else I understand. But when he was telling me about that, I was like, I didn't know how to really decode it and understand it at the time. So out of nowhere, around 2020-ish, I started slowly healing myself. This was around COVID, right? We were sitting in the house. That was me, bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. And I wasn't really doing much. So then I realized I need to heal. I don't know where that come from, but the urge to heal myself was something that I needed to do. So I started on my healing journey, and then I slowly ventured into being spiritual. I feel like that's kind of natural for a lot of us. We started healing, we realized, okay, yeah, I got some childhood trauma or something's wrong and we need to heal it. And then we started to trickle on to spiritual. That's what happened to me. So I feel like it was very natural. Honestly, it was a very natural thing to do. So when I started getting into spirituality, I realized this is kind of like, it was blowing my mind, y'all. Like, I didn't understand, like, wait, so this is the right way and that's the wrong way. And then out of nowhere in 2020, I was in 2021, I had my big great awakening. And you know what I'm talking about when I say great awakening, baby. Great awakening. And out of nowhere, it just was like a ticking time bomb. Boom. I was like, so you mean to tell me this is a lie? Everything I was taught was a lie? It was a lie? This was a lie. That was a lie. Then I thought about what my father taught me years ago. He was telling me the truth. And I was like, oh my God, I've been lied to. This is like, I was like, oh my goodness, it's not real. Like, you guys, if you know, you know. I stayed awake for like 2 days, like just researching, learning, researching. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, y'all. It was crazy. If you know, you know. If you're spiritual, everybody had that big, great awakening. And for me, ever since that awakening, honey, I just started becoming spiritual. Very slow. I started becoming spiritual, but I still realized I was still a Christian. And I said, I gotta put an end to this. So I did. And again, I was scared at first because of the fear tactics. I was scared and I didn't want to quite save my peace. But finally I did, and that's when I started becoming spiritual. But then, y'all, oh, it wasn't over, because I started tapping into my dark side, my shadow side. I started tapping into my dark side, and I realized, wait a minute, I gotta heal this version of myself. And I was scared, and I don't think at the time I was ready to go into that heavy healing, and I got scared, and that kind of pushed me away a little bit. So guess what? I went back to Jesus. I went back to the Lord, and I went back to God. And I got rid of my sage, I got rid of my spiritual books, I threw it all away. Okay? And then I realized for a couple of weeks, yeah, this ain't right either. This ain't right. I just knew it. I knew it in my core. I can feel it. I felt it in my chest. I just said, you know what, Deidre, own up to it, baby. Because this ain't, I was too awake then. Even when I went to church, I knew that this wasn't right. Like, I was in church, right? And the pastor said, oh, I can't wait to die to go to heaven. Who can't wait to die to go to heaven? I'm looking around like, these motherfuckers are crazy. Get me up out of here. Like, I was like, oh, yeah. Yep. It's time. So after a couple of weeks of going back to God, I realized, nope, I can't do this. This is not me, and I know it's not me. So then I finally realized I'm spiritual. This is who I'm meant to be, and I accepted it. And the moment I accepted that, I kid you not, a couple of days later, all of my psychic abilities. Remember when I told y'all when I was a child, I was a seer. I could see spirit, angels, ghosts, all that type of stuff. They started coming back. All of my psychic abilities started coming back. And yes, I've been on my spiritual journey ever since. And I want to tell you guys this, it is not easy. Over these last couple of years, I realized so much about myself. I am a chosen one. I am a psychic. I am a Syrian starseed. I also resonate with Andromeda. I am intersex, which I knew for years, but last year, I finally accepted it. I was like, I want to be a boy. Ew. Like when I was younger, because I knew it. I knew it deep down, but I didn't want to accept it. But yes, I am intersex. I have male and female chromosomes, and that makes me intersex. And I accepted myself, and I have changed tremendously over these last years. I am not the same person I used to be, and being and becoming spiritual was the best thing that I could ever do. Becoming spiritual and choosing that freedom of spirituality and what it brings was one of the best decisions I have ever done for myself, and I will continue to say that over and over and over. I love who I am. I love the very core of me. I love the essence of me, and this is why I am here, to teach you about spirituality. And the best part is I'm not perfect, and I'm still learning, and this is why I'm here. I was guided to teach you all. Because I am a Syrian starseed, I was born with the light, and I can help others awaken a higher consciousness, and also just teach people about spirituality. And it's not going to be perfect. I have all of these disabilities, but guess what? That's the best part. Teaching you spirituality from my point of view. Because I'm dyslexic, my brain, the rewiring is different. So that means I think differently. I see things differently. And that's why I'm here, teaching you about spirituality from my point of view. So yeah, I think that this is super cool, and I just wanted to kind of tell you guys my story, how I went from being a full-blown Christian to being a full-blown spiritual woman. And let me tell you something. Becoming and being spiritual, being who you are, staying in alignment, it is not easy. It is not. I promise you. You will go through things, but it is the best thing. You have to learn. You have to crawl before you walk. So yes, trust me. I make it look easy. I go through a lot of things, right? I'm dyslexic. I'm legally blind. I have tinnitus, the ringing in the ears. I go through so much, but every day I do not complain. I wake up, I name 3 things I'm grateful for, and I keep moving. So being spiritual is not easy, but it is so freeing, and it feels good to wake up in the morning and know exactly who you are. And that's why I am here, to tell you exactly who you are. You know who you are, you forgot, but I'm here to tell you. So join me in Sacred Space. It's time for Quote of the Day. Quote of the Day. I hope you all enjoyed the first episode, teaching spirituality from my point of view. Even though we're all so different, we're all oneness at the same time. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. And don't worry, we'll have more. I have more to come with Sacred Space. And don't forget, I do have Sacred Space Junior, so go subscribe to that channel to teach your little ones spirituality. Bye. See you next time.